Guys, B8KD here. Today I'm going to do a first look at the Coercer Light Interdictor. If we go ahead and look how I have her fit, I do have small pulse lasers. You can do the small beam lasers just for that added range. We're sitting at about the 7 to 10 kilometer range on these guys. I do have a webifier, which I think is necessary. If you have somebody else in your fleet with a webifier, maybe even a better one, I would swap this out for a target painter just to be a type of support with your ship. I have a Mark III scrambler because we are going to be within the 7 kilometer range, and these are a 10 kilometer range, so micro warp drives will get deactivated. This is here just to do the ultimate lockdown. And of course our interdiction sphere launcher here. This guy, you can only equip one per ship. It has a 30-second bubble activation time and a 19 kilometer range. So when you are like up close at the 7 kilometer, you pop this and your webifier, it will completely slow people down. You will be just completely locked out for the rest of your fleet to, get to your target and take them out. So I'm not sure how well this is going to do in PvE, but I have a dealer micro warp drive equipped just for getting on top of somebody quick and webifying and pooping out my bubble. You will be right up close to the person, so I equipped the most tank I could. This is a armor tank ship, so I just have a Cinderella 200 millimeter steel plate. This gives 708 armor increase and 707 upon activation. I also have a damage control for the extra shield, armor, and structure resistances, and you pop this and you have 13 seconds of basic immunity, basically. Rig-wise, you can really do anything. You can even put the resistance bonuses in here. I think would be very powerful on this ship. I did armor repair bonus if we are armor repping. I did armor hit points by 12% just to make this all that more tanky. And I did a velocity bonus and a basic capacitor multiplier. The capacitor isn't the best on this, 820 gigajoules with a micro warp drive, so any capacitor is good here. Just taking a look at the actual Coercer skills and roll bonuses. You have a 25% small laser optimal range. It's pretty good. You have your +1 interdiction sphere launcher module license, so you can equip one sphere launcher. Per propulsion jamming bonus, which is the new skill, you get 5% effective range, which is good, so you want to max that out as soon as possible because that's the main purpose of this ship. Advanced destroyer command bonus per level. You also get a small amount of damage and negative capacitor need, which isn't going to be too big. You're not going to be slapping cheeks on this thing. It is a destroyer, and I think destroyers are really weak right now. But this is a armor tank, so you see pretty decent armor resistances. If you fill in the gaps here with your rigs, I think this can be a pretty tanky ship in terms. If we just go in here, you see our shields at 865, armor's 1274. And structure's only 1,000, so this definitely is not a shield tank. But yeah, basically I don't think this is very good solo PvP ship. It's great for fleets and locking people down. When you pop your micro warp drive, you shoot towards the person. I'd orbit him at like 1, get right on top of him. I would poop out a bubble here and webify them, then they will just be completely locked out. And if you pop your warp scrambler, they cannot micro warp drive out of it, and you pretty much have them locked down here. See, it poops out a big bubble. I got it completely around the warp gate there, so you can just sit here and wait for somebody to warp in or tackle somebody pretty quickly. That interdiction sphere does require plasmoids. It barely uses any, I think 4 a pop or something, so 1,000 is quite a bit. I do have my small armor repairer if you expect to be in fights long term. The target painter, which you could swap out for a stasis webifier. And we're going to try out a ranger afterburner, and you could do the small beam lasers for that additional range. You can really take advantage of that. But now with this build, I am going to just warp to a tier 7 small Garista anomaly here. So our capacitor isn't going down too entirely much, about 3 a pop, which is good. I do have pretty good skills in this. Skill-wise, of course, you want destroyer engineering, destroyer defense, everything like that. Okay, so we found our targets here. Doesn't really matter who we attack. I'll just attack this guy. Let's set our orbit to 7. Let's see if we can keep the orbit on here. We are going to pop our afterburner, or our micro warp drive. Gonna poop my bubble out, webify him, warp jam him. So we need to just go in slightly closer. We are taking a hefty chunk of shield damage. What you want to do is pop your shield extension. We just need to go in at about 5 or 6 there to get the best results. But these guys are basically stuck in place, or at least the one I have webified there. Now what we do is just orbit, fire lasers, and try to survive as long as we can so the rest of our fleet can get on top of them. In a normal scenario, they will be targeting you because you are just right in their face. That's why I have the damage control and armor plates there. Now for PvE encounters, I would recommend doing an afterburner because the micro warp drive signature radius is pretty stupid on this. Now we have to disengage. We don't have any armor left and our damage control is gone. We can of course poop another bubble out while we're trying to escape and just kind of shoot out of here. Now by this time, hopefully your fleet has killed whatever you're intercepting there, but yeah, I'm going to go try out an afterburner and see if I can take out the whole anomaly by myself. Alright, so for my fittings on this one now, I have my small afterburner and a armor repairer. This is the only one the test server would sell. If you are doing PvE content, I guess you don't really need the scrambler here. This will help if a rat has a micro warp drive, which unless you're in a storyline mission or a high level one, usually don't. But let's go ahead and orbit. Lock onto that one. So we want to go probably about 6 just to keep our proper orbit there. Now our afterburner only brings us, let's see, 900 meters a second, which isn't the best. Looks like we are taking some damage. Let's poop our bubble and web. We are still taking a bit of damage here. I'm going to scramble him just because I can. We have a guidance disruptor on us, which if we had missiles we would basically not be hitting. But we're doing some pretty good damage here. I'm going to get ready to start armor repairing with absolutely no armor repair skills. Let's poop out another bubble here. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and pop our armor repair, just to keep our armor topped up. I do like the armor extenders, but just to try out slightly a different build here. Oop, let's poop out another bubble just because we can. Just keep pooping them out every 30 seconds here, just to negate everybody's inertia modifier. Not sure if it helps much with them trying to slap my cheeks, but I think potentially if these guys didn't have missiles, I think the tracking speed on some weapons basically wouldn't be able to hit you when you're going that slow, and I'm going 800 meters a second, so it's probably a bad example of ratting here, but we'll just take our armor repair off. We are looking pretty comfortable. Let's orbit him. We did just hit him at 10 kilometers pretty well, so the additional range definitely helps out on these. Do have my damage control ready for whenever. Now I definitely don't have my skills maxed out here, but for small lasers, definitely getting a small laser upgrade here is going to be good. Just to go alongside with the accuracy and range fall off there. We do have a few things like your cruising technology for destroyers. I just put this much in there for now for the additional velocity. Navigation, depending what you're using, afterburner or micro warp drive here, you want as high a skills as possible to keep your capacitor up and get that velocity bonus. Engineering, you'll see destroyer engineering is fairly low. Getting this up will give you more capacitor and power grid if needed. Electronic system, you want your propulsion jamming maxed out, because this is what gives you the most bonuses to your interdiction sphere, along with web of fire, electronic web warfare. There gives you scrambler, capacitor need, and additional web of fire range, which is awesome. So definitely max that out. And then maintenance technology, I have 0 points in armor operation, so I would max that out if possible. And of course your defense there. So we are pretty much AFK in here. We were able to take out a tier 7 pretty comfortably. Let's just go in and get this guy. We are within 10 kilometers, so we can poop out our bubble, webify him, and scramble him. Our capacitor recharge is doing fairly well. It says 30 seconds there, but yeah, I don't know. Looks like our capacitor is doing just fine. Oh, we should probably start attacking him, huh? So, overall, this isn't the most powerful ship in the world. It is great for locking down your prey, and if you have it built right, be able to tank long enough to get the rest of your fleet right in their face and take out your prey. Destroyers definitely need a buff, but I guess it's good as it's going to get on this guy. But yeah, we'll just sit here, we'll take off our armor repair, pop our damage control, whatever here, just keep pooping bubbles out. Pretty cool ship in general, and I think this will be very useful in fleet combat, but not so much in solo PvP. I think it would just get totally smacked. So, alright guys, that's all I have for you. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.